Just in the hay room at the moment. Got a nice view from up here, but it is cloudy. We've got some snow supposedly coming today. I'm working a little bit on hay because we've got to get a new shipment in to feed the horses. It takes a lot of hay to feed horses, and the hay room only holds, I think, about 9 tons or so, which only lasts, I think, a few months. I'm really precise on my numbers, but anyways, the point is that we've got to get this organized and the downstairs, and then off to go do some stuff. So let's get out of here first. Okay. Now, the next step to do actually is Annie's feet, but unfortunately, once again, I'm running a little low on time for this morning's activities and this week's activities because the weather is supposed to turn. So what we're actually going to go do is we're going to go see Ruly. I don't know if any of you remember Ruly. She was an older horse that was here, and I have to go and trim her feet. So let's go do that, and then we'll come back here and finally deal with Annie. So, hay room is sorted out for now. I often wonder how other people sort out their hay rooms and stuff, but that's done for now. Let's get on with the day. Well, just finished trimming Ruly. She's such a sweetie. Her feet are looking fantastic, so it's carrot time. Ruly is, she used to be at our place for a few years, a couple of years. And she moved down here. Still provides some help and advice on caring for her feet, which our owner is doing a fantastic job of. So, carrots for Ruly. One more. Brought 4 carrots for her because she's such a sweetie. It's an older horse. I can't remember. I think she's 26 or so. I think that's right. Not ready yet? She says, I'm still crunching, man. Settle down. Oh, there we go. Last carrot. She's an expert carrot eater too. Okay, I'm really happy with this. Let's go home. Okay, we're here with Annie. And she's being her usual adorable self. And I want to discuss a little bit about her feet, because I think feet are very important. And in the beginning, when I got Annie here, I showed you guys how I went about training her to pick up her feet and getting her okay with it. But now we're going to discuss a little bit more about how we can tell that I'm late for a trim. Even Annie says, hurry up, man. It's chilly out here. It's winter time. Okay, so a few signs that we can look at. Annie, you gotta stop following me around. So I guess maybe I'll preface this a little bit with that I generally try not to tie my horses up when I'm trimming. I like it that they're able to move a little bit. I like it that they can sort of shuffle around a bit, and while I'm trimming them, they can test their feet out a little bit. So while I will try to keep them around me, I don't have a lot of trouble with that overall. I don't really want her to go too far, so I do have the halter on her in case I need to draw her back if she wanders off on me for whatever reason. I say, no, just stay with me. But Annie's really, really cool. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole trimming process of her. I've done tons of trimming stuff and have a whole course on that. If you check the description below, it covers trimming in a very extensive range. So, but what I want to cover is how you can tell when a horse is behind on their trim. Annie's a little behind on her trim, not a lot, but enough. Now, the first thing we can look at is her fronts, if she'll let me and not just walk on me. And okay, look out, Annie. So, what we want to look at here is how she has sort of an interesting shape to this foot. And if we kind of bring the camera over this way, you can sort of see that we've got a little bit of not particularly square, but kind of square toe. So when we come down the leg straight, we should be able to see this will be the most worn spot of the foot. And you know what I really notice is right here. Now take a look at this. Let's see if I can brush this just a smidge. And she has this on both sides. I'll give this a good brush. And it's going to be the way that she sort of wears her feet. And as I clean this off, and around, as long as she doesn't move, it should become a little more clear. You see these bumps in here? All the way up to here. Now, Annie's been here for about 6 months or so, and this is round about 6 months worth of growth. So everything below here is still her old growth. And she's walked off. Actually, you can almost see a weird shape if I just sort of come around like this. Okay, so what's happening is she's doing a great job wearing her foot on the bottom. Let's see if I can just give that a little bit better of a look. You can see she's got a fantastic little bevel there. She's made all by herself, but it doesn't really extend over to this corner here. And then what happens is, hello Annie, what happens is the foot mashes up here. That's why it gets bumpy, because it hasn't been trimmed in time the 6 months before she got here. So I do know I'm a little bit behind, and the reason I know that is because the toe doesn't look round like it should. When we're done, I'll show you what that means. And then the second thing that we can look at to tell when a horse needs a trim and they're a little late, we can look on her back foot, and we can see right here, if you look kind of closely, is she's missing some hoof wall here compared to, say, here, and it's starting to just wear off. And that's because the wall is getting long enough. You can see it's just chipping a little bit here, right there, right? So that means that the wall is getting long enough that it's actually rounding itself off. Now, the bonus around this joint is that all the ground is hard. We've got crusher dust here. The arena is sand. All the pathways are gravel. And it essentially allows them to wear down their feet and show me the wear pattern that they will have. So like the corners, like the chipping, because when they live on really, really soft ground, they don't chip. They just end up growing out and cracking, which is, oh my God. All right, fine. Which is, I'll scratch her while I talk. But the idea of them being on hard ground means that they can wear their feet. The idea of being on soft ground is that they don't wear their feet, and instead they develop long hooves that end up having mechanical leverage applied, which causes them to split and crack. I would rather see little chips like that where they wear themselves off naturally than big cracks. So that's me. That's how I feel. I feel it's much healthier. And they sort of self-wear, which is fantastic. I know, Annie, everybody wants scratches. So I'm gonna get on with trimming her, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like when I'm done. There's ropes all around. It's good practice for her. Okay, we're done with the initial trim of the hoof walls. And you're stepping on your own rope, you know. Sort it out. She steps on it again. Keep digging. Good girl. Okay, good practice. Now, I can show you how this now looks different. And the difference, the biggest difference that I can really sort of say is that now this area here called the coronet band has a really good match in length. Annie will stay still for me, but she keeps on wanting to sniff whatever I'm doing. The length here should match here and here. And the reason we get these bumps and these flares that happen on what are called the pillars is because horses will wear their toe almost perfectly if they're in good shape. I can feel her hump in my head. Annie, hang on. And so what we want to do is we want to sort of match what that toe does. So that's looking better. We take a look at this other foot. We can see I've gotten rid of even more of these little bumpy bumps, right? More of the bumps are gone. We still got to get all the way up to here because this is where her old foot is. And so this is all brand new, no bumps. Very important. None of these ridges. You don't want these ridges, they're bad. And now we can see that she's got a really nice sort of bevel all the way around. Okay. And as for the back feet, we didn't need a lot, but I was able to sort of bevel from the bottom. Now the thing we don't want to do, we don't want to take off this outer edge. A lot of people think that this is gross or dirty or needs cleaning. It does not. It's actually detrimental to shave the outer edge of the hoof. You only want to get the bottom edge, exactly where they wear out. So that's all sorted out. And same for this one. It had a little bit right here. You can see it just barely. So that's all rounded, nice. And that will stop the chipping, because we don't want her to chip too much. Sometimes if they chip too much, they can chip all the way up the wall a little bit, and that will be detrimental. That won't be any good at all. And we definitely don't want it cracking, right? No cracks. So that's a couple of signs that you can tell a horse is behind on their trim. We're going to see those little rings, and we're going to see little chips. And when they get really out of sorts, you're going to see cracks, and you're going to see flares and deformation of the whole hoof wall itself. We don't want Annie to get to that. She's a nice little youngster. We want to keep her feet in really solid shape. And then when she goes into adulthood, she'll be set up for the best success ever. Right, Annie? Okay, that's it for this one. Hopefully it's been a little bit interesting, and I will see you guys in the next one. She's so cute. Okay.